Hey, howdy, hey, you're on with the Juice Man, and this is Boat Game. I've got a little game today in the Schlieffen, which, to my knowledge, at the time of the battle being played, and the information from the other community contributors in CC Discord, this game, at the time of recording, is the damage record. So let's start off with the build. I've got Secondary Battery Mod 2, Propulsion Mod 2, Concealment System Mod 1, because concealment's very important on these German battlecruisers, and Secondary Battery Mod 3. You'll notice I do not have the Epic Secondary Module because I, like a lot of people, didn't realize that the mission went away when the update dropped. I fully intended on grinding it out with this ship, so I don't have it. It's got HE, AP, Torps, all of that. 3 enhanced secondary target thing consumables. It's got a 5.7 kilometer sonar, which is awesome. It's got 2 of those. 5 heals with my build. It's got 4x2, so 4 double turrets of 420 millimeter guns, with my build reaching out 17.1 kilometers, reloading in 30 seconds. AP's got a nice alpha strike of 12,950. It's got 24 105 millimeter guns reaching out to 12.4 kilometers, and it's got 16 150 millimeter secondary guns reaching out to 12.4. Secondaries on this ship are very dangerous and very good. Quick look at the armor scheme. You can see, despite only having a 27 millimeter upper and lower bow, and it has a 60 millimeter icebreaker across the front of it, 60 to 100. So even though it might not necessarily have the 32 millimeter bow all over, it's got this absolute monster of an icebreaker. Unfortunately, you're going to eat deck pens through this plating at range, and they'll find their way into your ship and they'll hurt. Same thing through your stern, they'll find their way in and they'll hurt. If you have a look at the citadel on this thing, in typical battlecruiser fashion, it's not actually a turtleback, but it does sit fairly flush to the water. As you can see from the right angle through your deck, if you're playing this thing at too far of a range, those shells can find their way right into your citadel. So it's best to get up close and personal, which is what these battlecruisers love to do, especially having 8 torpedoes per side. It is definitely a brawler. Got secondary reach, above average secondary battery range, extended sonar. It is a very good sonar range at 5.7. It's fast, it is decently fast. The Schlieffen, a high-speed battleship that inherited numerous traits of German battlecruisers of the World War I period. Her main armament is represented by 420mm guns, designed in 1944, unfortunately never built. I'm running my 16.3 Azure Lane Scharnhorst Commander. I've got a good day's work to get those damage cons back a little bit. I could not justify Brawler because this thing really, with the 6 kilometer range, in the legendary tier meta, it's just really hard to play with that kind of range. Like, you can lose half your hit points before anything has even entered your firing range. It's insane. So good day's work to get the damage cons back faster. Porcupine, because I love secondaries. Firefighter, just because it kind of sucks getting lit on fire all the time, so maximum 3 fires is cool. Damage con coming back even faster is cool. Minus 15% to the fire chance, very cool. This is a squishy ship. It will take a lot of damage from HE, fires, AP, everything. So anything you can do to make it tankier and for survivability will help you. Which is why, in lieu of properly meticulous, I'm running Master Mechanic to have my heals back faster, a better heal, and more of the heals. And I was running with scissors, but because legendary tier is Colberts and Yamatos and all of this crap being played at maximum range, I had to put Will to Rebuild on. I do not support Will to Rebuild, I don't like Will to Rebuild, but sometimes you need it to make it past the first 5 minutes of a battle when you get caught out of position. My inspirations, I got Franz von Hipper at 15.2 just for the secondaries, and I've got Haruna at 16.2 also for the secondaries. So let's get straight into the game. We are on the left flank A spawn of this wonderful map for a brawling battleship, just due to all of the island cover. Honestly, couldn't ask to be on a better map. Naked Worcester here with us. Now, the play I like to make on this map is to push kind of straight ahead until I can get a little more central and then work my way into the middle of the map, which is decently easy to do because of where we've spawned and the way the islands are positioned and everything. It's really easy to get into cover, to get a good strong position, and more importantly, inside of secondary range. Now, we were spotted right away. There's 3 destroyers a team, that's to be expected. So my main priority right now is going to be getting into the nook between these 2 islands so I can avoid the torpedoes that I know for a fact are going to be flying towards me, based on the fact that I am probably the only ship spotted on this side until the battleships behind me got spotted. And I'm pushing pretty aggressively straight up mid. So I'm turning into the middle, I'm activating my hydro because I can sense torps are coming. Alpha's being capped to my left, Bravo's being capped to my right. I know I'm in for a rough time if either of these DDs dumps torps at me. The Pommern across from me has the exact same idea of pushing into mid because it's a good place for a secondary battleship to be, especially one with torpedoes. Shimakaze pops up at 6 kilometers, so I'm going to pop the enhanced secondary booster. I'm going to take a pot shot at him, and I'm going to let the secondaries go to work. Unfortunately, he is going to disengage and get away from me, but that's okay. I got a Des Moines out in front of me there, and the Pommern is now 4 kilometers away from me. One of the detriments to this ship that I hadn't necessarily mentioned yet is the torpedo speed. Now, don't get me wrong, the fact that it has 8 torpedoes per side is really nice, but unfortunately they only go 54 knots. These are 10 knots slower than the torpedoes on the Pommern, for example. So they're really easy to dodge. That Pommern is going to be able to turn nose into that rock and essentially avoid all but one of those 8 torpedoes that I just flung into that channel at him. They were a little faster, maybe they would have got there a little sooner, who knows. But the torpedo speed has been, thus far, pretty much my only complaint about this ship. So I'm in the exact position I want to be. I'm lodged between these 2 islands. I've got shots at broadside, so if anyone who wants to push the side the Yamato's coming from, I've got probably the best torpedo angles I've seen on any ship ever. I can fire them pretty much right over the bow and stern, so I can protect myself from this Pommern if he decides to push. Now, this positioning is going to get me in a little bit of trouble. You can see I'm trying to turn, but my rudder shift is doing me no favors right now. Thanks to those 5 heals, I'm not super concerned about taking a little bit of damage, but I'm sitting broadside to a Yami right now, and he chunks me pretty good. No citadels, because I've got a lot of armor on the top of the citadel. It's almost underwater. If he hits me anything above the waterline, chances are they're going to skip off the top and he's going to pen me and not citadel me. But I managed to slap him for 30k, put a citadel into him, set him on fire with the secondaries, but he dropped spot again thanks to that smoke screen. Now, right here, I'm doing something really silly. I'm backing up towards him, and then something clicks in my brain. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. So I slam it full forward, but it's not quick enough. My spidey senses didn't go off in time, and I ate 3 torps from that Pommern. Granted, he died before he sent them, so I no longer have to worry about the Pommern, but that was silly of me to back out like that. I really should not have done that. But now my plan is to maintain an angle to this Yamato. He's bow into me now, but I'm going to let the secondaries work on him. I'm going to take the odd shot at him, and I'm going to maintain my angle. Another fire on Yami as I cross the gap, the dangerous gap, mind you. Getting my torpedoes off the other side. Yamato takes a shot at me and does exactly 0 damage because all of his shells have ricocheted off of my surprisingly thick belt armor. Yamato goes down to the torpedoes from the Yugamo, and I realized I am now sending it headfirst into a grosser curve first and potentially 2 destroyers. So I'm going to slam it reverse. I'm now on 15,000 HP, 95,000 damage, 180 secondary hits, and I get my second heal of the game off. I think my second. It might have been my third. I burned through them all in an average game. But we take a little shot at the GK, don't get much for it, but I'm just trying to get moving backwards right now. Because there's still a Shima behind me. I can sense he's probably going to be throwing torps in this direction soon. I want to get myself straightened out, not be sitting at this angle to the Shima, and get this island between me and the GK so I can let him come to me. Shima pops up 8.4 kilometers away, enhanced secondary booster enabled. Let the secondaries scare him off. Let them also fire at the GK, which is always welcome. Decent hit on the Shima, but nothing special. Shima at this point is not long for this world, and I'm kind of banking on my secondaries to do something funny to him, but the Marl Bros secondaries get him. And that's not the first time I'm gonna get... what's the word I'm looking for? That's not the first time that I'm gonna get yoinked by this Marl Bro. I can't exactly call it getting yoinked. It's, you know, kill securing, as Zarkun would say. But it did just cost me a close quarters expert, and he's going to cost me a lot more later in this game. But I'm backing up. I've got 420mm guns. I know that I can angle to this Des Moines, take very little damage from him, and absolutely rock him with these guns. But if you look at my mini-map, I've got 2 battleships and a destroyer closing in on my position. I'm broadside to the torpedo lane of that destroyer, and I'm nose into the 2 battleships. Destroyer's not long for this world. Unfortunately, the Shimakaze gets depth struck by the Kitakaze, but the Worcester manages to take down their other DE. That was a torpedo threat to me. I've put 1 Citadel into the Des Moines so far. I've got a burn from the secondaries. These secondaries are just insane. Sitting there firing at a bow-wing cruiser and just absolutely peppering him. I get another reload. I know I put it a little too far back on this salvo, but it is what it is. I got 3 pens and an overpen. It's overall a decent shot, but could have been better. I'm just going to let the secondaries work him the rest of the way down as I start repositioning. Now I can see the Marl Bro, 5.1 kilometers in front of me, 4.9 now. I got a torp tube temporarily disabled by the Des Moines with his dying breath, but that's okay. I've still got my 2 damage cons, but I'm not going to damage con that torp tube just yet. I want to save the damage con in case something bad happens. So I launched that set off at the Marl Bro. I realize GK is looking in this direction. It is far too late for me to stop this push. I gotta pray and I've gotta tank it. This was a very silly move by me. I lose 10,000 HP to the GK, but I get a torp hit and a flood on the Marl Bro. At this point, we are at now 185,000 damage, 327 secondary hits. I've got a kill, high caliber, and Confederate. This is already turning out to be a great game. Now look at how good these torps are on this Marl Bro. Look at how perfectly I've got that set up. And the Marl Bro absolutely deletes them. Now in the Marl Bro's defense, their Marl Bro probably could have killed me there. But he still would have ate my torps and I still would have broke 200k. Because that's what I had in my mind at this point. I just wanted to break 200k. Because so far this has been a fun game of brawling and secondaries and just an overall good time. Now, this Kitakaze is actually playing decently, taking pot shots at me, disengaging, defending his cap, doing what he has to do. Unfortunately, he's actually going to survive for the rest of the battle. Spoiler alert, you see how much HP he had. And it's not the last time he's going to be spotted either. It's tragic, it really is. But I put in the high explosive because I've got 16,000 HP. That Goros occur first has well in excess of, I want to say 60, but I'm not going to count the bars. So if I'm going to break 200k, I want to set him on fire. I'll set him on fire once, and a lot of GK players will let one fire burn, and then set the perma-fire on him. It'll get me over 200k. If I die, I die. We have another BB and a cruiser that are in a decent enough position that they could disengage and get away from this GK if they had to. So there's my first shot with the HE at the curve first. It looks like a decent enough shot, but I only hit 4 of those shells. One of them pens, and I don't get a fire. Which is unfortunate, but it's entirely possible the GK is on a similar build as me, and doesn't like fire either. Secondaries take a couple pot shots at him, and now I'm curious about the locations of this Kitakaze. But it's going to be a little bit of Sailing Simulator until we see the GK again. My speed management starts to bite me a little bit as I realize I'm moving way too fast to stop on the corner of this gap like I wanted to. Wait for the GK to come around it. I wanted to get kind of an ambush kind of shot on him as I'm going around the corner and then bail behind the corner before he can really return fire at me. Just, hit him with the back guns, but I was going a little too fast for that. I'm spotted by the Kitakazes, so I've just lost my element of surprise. I need to move forward a little bit, not too much. And there's the GK. I'm going to take a pot shot, hope the rear guns can clear. They just barely don't. Check the torps. If I had them loaded, I might have been able to dump them in there and catch them, but It's just not going to happen, so I just got to wait out the reload now. As I thought, the torps from the Kitakazi come roaring through the channel. I finally managed to get my back turrets to hit the GK. 2 shells, still no fire. Grocer Kerfer's kills are Marlboro, and so it's just down to me and the Minotaur. Minotaur is probably a little too close to me, and the rest of this battle for that matter. We're 130-something points in the lead. If I was him, I'd be hauling ass to the corner of the map right now. But you know how people are. They want more damage. They want bigger number. Minotaur's gonna Minotaur. I take an HE salvo at the GK. He citadels me. So he actually waterlined me with that shot and put it through my belt. But I managed to set a fire on him. He's sailing away. He only got the back guns at me. His front turrets are facing the wrong way, which is going to buy me a monumental amount of time. Secondaries are farming away. I need will to rebuild, but you know, when you actually need it, you're not going to get it. I can't afford to burn, so I'm going to hit that damage control. Back up, back up. GK's just got his rear turrets loaded again. I'm going to take another shot at him. I'm down to 576 HP. Secondaries are still rocking. I managed to double fire the GK as I die to the Kitakazi. Secondaries are still raining down and finally stop hitting at 132 hits in that battle. I get my Witherer and end the game with 466 secondary hits. If you look at my damage, we're still ticking, and we stop 226,541 damage, which to my knowledge is the highest at the time of recording, because right after I went in the CC Discord, the next highest one I saw was 221. So I'm temporarily the record holder without secondary module. This Minotaur, we're just going to hang out for a little bit and just watch what this Minotaur does. He's broadside to a GK who definitely has his guns facing this direction. I know the GK is going behind the island, but he's going to take a shot. This very well could have been a throw. The game could have ended right here if he got deleted by the GK, which is not uncommon. But fortunately, he manages to dodge, he survives, and he's going to spend the rest of the game sailing away. So that's what we want to see. So I'm actually just going to speed through the next 2 minutes where nothing interesting happens. And the game is over. So we wrap up this game. 226,539 damage, 45 shells hit, 2 torps, 1 incap, 1 kill, 9 fires, 2 floods, 3 citadels, 4 defenders, 1 assisted capture, 466 secondary hits, 2 spots, a high caliber Confederate, Witherer, top of the team, 2,970 base experience. So this has been the Schlieffen, and if you like what you see, slap like. If you like Warships stuff and you want to see more of it, feel free to subscribe, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.